Welcome to Horror Movies and Beyond, a show about reviewing horror movies for the living to understand the dead. I'm your host, Ivotres Littles, and this is Shudderary, where we go behind the screens of Shudder original and exclusive movies. Today, I have a really awesome special guest. She's a horror content creator and co-founder of Downrange Minds Entertainment, Destinie Orndoff. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. I am so glad to finally get to see you and talk to you.
Yeah.
I've been following you for a while, and I never thought that we would ever get to this point. I don't know why. I'm just that way. You're amazing.
Honestly, Tristan and I, we look up to you, and with all of your stuff that you do, it's so inspiring, and all the content that you push out, it's just so good, and it's just so awesome to see. So whenever I found your account, I was like, are you following her? Because she's awesome. Like, check this out.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, that means a lot to me, especially coming from people who've already been in the game for so long, and you always dish out some amazing photos. I'm like, girl, how do you do all that?
Thank you.
So, but let's get started. Oh my goodness. But before we get into this wild movie that she chose, I don't choose them. All the content creators choose their own films from Shudder. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Huge horror fan. I've been a horror fan since I was 6 years old. My favorite horror film is A Nightmare on Elm Street. I'd say my second favorite horror film would be The Exorcist. Third would be The Shining. And then definitely in my top 10 would be Freddy vs. Jason, because I saw that in theaters when I was a kid, and it's been an all-time favorite until now. I just think it's so badass, like Freddy and Jason. Freddy's my favorite. I think you won, just a personal opinion, but I basically just love watching horror films. And in 2015, I decided to turn my passion and love into something like kind of tangible and realistic. So like I wrote my own film and crowdfunded it with Tristan, the other half of Downrange Minds. And that's basically where we're at now, just kind of like creating independent films and trying to get our own stuff out into the industry. And at the same time, just enjoying the genre itself, because we are fans, and a lot of great stuff has been coming out lately for horror the last couple of years. So it's been really awesome.
Wow, that sounds amazing. That really does. Good for you.
Thank you.
So I contact you because, like I said, I've been following you for a while, and you always put out amazing content. And you chose Downrange.
Yeah.
And that movie is wild. I mean, it is really good, but I did not expect what I got out of that film.
Yeah.
It was really good, really unexpected. It was crazy. Why did you pick that movie?
I can't really remember how we came across it, but we started it one day, and like you, I had no idea like what the caliber was going to be, if it was going to be gory, if it was going to be a slow burn, if it was going to be what, but I just found myself like absolutely glued to the screen, because like it is really like a one location type of film, so it's like really simplistic, but at the same time it's just so intense, and like once it starts to rev up, I just could not find myself like breaking away. And the gore was amazing. Like I was obsessed with it, could not stop looking at every time a character had their moment. I was just absolutely like, wow, how did they do that? That was fucking incredible. Like I wish I could do that. Like that is such goals. So the main reason I think I chose it is because I was just obsessed with it and really found it as like a rewatch for me. Whenever I find a film as a rewatch, like I just think that's awesome, because I can't find that all the time. So if I'm like, I'm totally going to watch this again in a month because it just hit, like it was awesome. So I just feel like the main reason I chose it is I just want people to know about it, because I just think it's great.
Yeah, it is great. So we're going to get really into it. So there will be spoilers. So we're going to get right up in there. So if you guys don't want to hear the spoilers, go check it out. It is streaming right now on Shudder. But before you do that, make sure you hit subscribe, like, and wait to the end to comment. So we're going to get right into it. So after a flat, a group of friends are stranded on a country road, and they find themselves mercilessly picked off by an unseen sniper. Okay, in the beginning of this movie, it just feels like a bunch of kids, teens, young adults or something is just chilling and a flat tire, but at the same time they're like so, wide open, and I'm waiting because I did not watch the trailer. So
Yeah.
I didn't want to know nothing. And I'm like, what's going to happen? It felt like something was building up because, the way they were looking around, and it's like just in the middle, there's nothing. It's like, what could happen? Like, I'm like waiting. I have no idea, but man, it went from like very serene, but it still feels kind of tense, to you hear something, but you did not see what it was, but you saw the tire, because they were trying to fix the tire, roll away. And then one person runs to go get it. And you think, oh, they probably got knocked out, fell down or something. But then when you go around the corner and, got a hole in their head, you're like, well, wait a minute. I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what was your first, initial thought when you saw that? Like, where the hell did that come from?
Oh yeah, whenever that first kill, whenever it just like comes out of nowhere, and then it kind of like slowly reveals, because if I remember correctly, it kind of like shows each person's like reaction for a little bit before it like reveals like that his head got like exploded, like caved in by the bullet. So I just remember just jaw dropping and just like, wow, like this looks amazing. Just kind of like really obsessed with the special effects, I guess, more so than like, holy crap, that dude just got his head blown off, I guess. Because if it looks really good, I'm kind of like obsessed with, wow, how can I replicate that? But I just remember being really into it and very just locked on what's going to happen next, because it just looked great and it was really intense for sure.
What I really like about that first attack, you didn't know where it came from, because the way he was sitting there or kneeling or whatever, you had no idea which way it would come from. And I think that's where it made it really intense, because, okay, who's just, shooting like that and it's not an ongoing thing. And then someone else get hit. And okay, you're right. The special effects on that look so real. I thought someone really got shot.
It was so good, yeah.
It's like, there is no way that is a dummy or computer or I mean, girl.
It's awesome.
I was like, are we really watching a snuff film? And we
yeah, really.
Like, and then the second shot was really disturbing, because the special effects, and you do special effects, like, girl, how did they do that?
I don't know.
I mean, any idea? I mean,
I read, whenever I was reading up a little bit on it, I read that it was a mixture between practical and CGI. So I just really think they had a super awesome practical effects artist, and then whatever they couldn't achieve practically, they put in, computer generated. And I just really feel like the mixture was what sold it more so than anything, because it was absolutely awesome.
Yes, it really did look real. So the characters, we have Jody, Karen, Todd, Eric, Sarah, and Jeff. And then we have the rifleman, the father, mother, and daughter. And then the stooges of sheriffs. The sheriff, deputy officer, the cautious officer. That's what their names were. They were no help. But, okay. so obviously this is kind of the active
Yeah.
shooter thing. I thought it was really hit close to home because we've been having all kind of crazy things similar to that. I mean, how did you initial feel when watching this, and like, man, like how accurate, how it feels, and you all you have is a truck. I
Yeah,
mean, I felt
absolutely.
really bad for these people.
Yeah. Whenever I initially got like the premise of the film and then went in and watched it, it's weird because I've never experienced like a shooting or anything like that before. But whenever I'm out in public, or for example, I was at a Horror Hound weekend once, and I was sitting in a room and we were all waiting to meet the It Kids, and then all of a sudden someone popped a balloon really loudly, and I mean loud, and everybody in the room went, I mean, like together, and my heart dropped. I obviously thought it was like a gunshot. And it's weird because, like I said, I'd never experienced that, but I just feel like as a society now, that's something that we all fear in unison. So seeing that in the film, for me at least, it just made it that much more intense and that much scary, because I just feel like anybody can just go sit out in a hill or a ravine somewhere and just shoot whoever comes by. It's just very realistic.
Yeah, 'cause I was trying to find a reasoning for this to be happening. Like, okay, she must be related to this person, or he did something. It just seemed like they were just very innocent
Yeah.
until, they start revealing slowly of little things here and there about themselves. But it just felt like, man, they just got a flat tire. But really, they didn't get a flat tire because it was planned to shoot whatever car goes by. And when that revealed like a bullet, in the tire, and then it's like very scary. Out of all of them, I really felt sorry for Eric. Eric was the guy that took off running and got shot in his ankles and legs. I think out of all of them, he was the one that I really felt bad for because he was so exposed.
Yeah.
Even when he first was hiding, when it just went wild, he was behind a tree, and I was like, that's not much coverage. But when they tried to make a run for it, and trying to do whatever they could to survive, getting water, like even that, I was like, God, it got to be so thirsty. I mean, it really just, not only was there an active shooter or something, shooting at him, the elements, the sun, the thirst.
Yeah.
What was your initial reaction when they were trying to be clever? Like, I saw some cleverness when they were trying to, like, okay, let's see where they are.
Yeah.
And I would have never thought to use my phone
Yeah.
as a distraction and to record. I mean, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I never would have thought of that. And the other thing I never would have thought of is whenever they take the tires off the SUV, and they do something to where they can move the SUV along, but also like kind of like hunker down behind it and like move along with it. And I was like, wouldn't have thought of how to move that. I would have been way off the deep end, freaking out like, I'm gonna die, oh my gosh. And then what you said was obviously I never would have thought of that either. I just feel like that went a lot with the characters and just trying to make it more interesting than kind of just boom, boom, we're dying. Like, what can we do with, what's happened with these characters with the time we have left. So I just think it was really good writing on their part. And it was really interesting to see that, what they're doing in this type of situation.
Yeah, I really did like how they used something so simple, just out in the open, and just be vulnerable.
Yeah.
And the only safety you have is, that SUV. And you realize, okay, maybe I should get an SUV. Not a little Honda.
Yeah.
Because like, they were very innovative. They were smart kids.
Yeah.
They wasn't just going to sit there and just, rot. I mean, they were trying to find different ways to be one step ahead of whoever was shooting.
Yeah.
But when Eric was laying out in the field, I thought he was going to get ate up. When I saw those wolves, I was like, come on, man. That's a way to go.
Literally. Like, that's
like,
the luck.
I know.
Oh, man.
And then, oh my gosh, you think, okay, for whatever, I don't know what road they were on, but there was like no cars in like forever. I'm like, what road is this? And then
Yeah.
finally you see a car, and you did not think that they would be a victim. You thought, oh, they would keep going, or they would just try to get the hell out of there. But that's what makes it more interesting, because now you know whoever is shooting at them, this is not some calculated attack. This is random. Whoever at this on that road at this point is the victim, and this person did not care. He camped, and that's what he was planning to do until whatever. But I mean, what did you think when you saw that car? Like, you thought maybe they would get away?
Yeah, I thought they would keep going for sure. I didn't think, because if I saw like blood all over the pavement, bodies possibly, I would unfortunately have to keep going and then try to get help. But yeah, I was surprised at what happened for sure.
But I didn't think her hand was gonna get blown off. I was like, not to like. I mean, this is like serious, but her hand was like a peeled banana.
Yeah, literally. It was insane.
I mean, is she screaming and hollering? Then she, they get tipped over, and then she just kept getting out, and it was like, get down, get down.
Yeah.
And she just kept getting up and getting out. I was like, this mom's relentless. And then the daughter got thrown out, and she's laid out.
Yeah.
And it just like, man, just in this one area is so intense, and you did not think. I mean, the sniper's just shooting, and then at some point it didn't even shoot the dad, not really, and then it just kept shooting, and then it was aiming to blow up the truck, and the poor daughter, she gets up and she just gets one in the head. I'm like, this movie's messed up.
Yeah, it's just relentless. It just keeps going, and it's just, I didn't expect that to happen, but it happened.
I know. How would you get out of that situation? Like, would you wait till nightfall and take off? Like, because I was like, how would I get out? Was there any thought of what you might have done differently?
Now that
the moment where they got dark?
Yeah. Now that you say nightfall, I feel like that'd be so smart, unless he had night vision. I feel like then you're kind of screwed. But say he does have night vision, and even nightfall, you can't do anything. I would say, I mean, if I can't get the SUV to like move along with me, kind of like they did, I mean, I guess I would almost just run for it and just hope for the best, because I don't know what else you would do, because if you have no cell service, your car's broke down, the dude's right there shooting, like, what do? You just sit there and wait for a car to come by, but then they're probably going to get shot. So, I mean, I guess I would just try my best. For sure.
I know it felt no way out. Then the sheriffs come, and you think, oh, okay, this is something. But then that's when you realize they know about the active shooter. They know this guy is out there.
Yeah.
So then I was like, well, if you knew, why didn't you like block this off?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It just felt kind of a little off right then and there. I mean, what did you think? Like, they were so aware, but...
Yeah, I don't know if it was with the writing, or if it could be some kind of rough message to mirror like what happens in society, I guess, with people knowing about stuff that happens and then they let it happen anyways if it doesn't affect them. Like, X amount of people could die, but long as it doesn't affect X person, they're not going to say anything. So I don't know if it was their writing or if they were trying to say something. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure, because the cops, it was like the Three Stooges.
Yeah,
I
literally.
mean, they just did not, they were, okay, everything was serious up to that point to the cops.
Yeah.
And it kind of just like threw me for a loop there, because I did not expect him to be, you know, the Three Stooges. So how did it feel to you? Like that whole thing about the cops, like, didn't it, for me, it just felt a little weird.
Yeah.
Like I was laughing. You shouldn't be laughing, but
I don't know.
no.
It could, because like, and I see that in a few films where like cops are seen as like funny. Like it's a lot. It happens a lot in Wes Craven films, like in Scream 4 or in the OG Last House on the Left. Like I don't know. I really feel like that's something with the writer or the creator saying something about police and how they're not necessarily, I don't want to say bright, I guess, because I don't think that's the correct word, but how they can miss a lot, I guess, and how they're not always completely like on exactly what they're supposed to do, because it's just a correlation between a lot of the films where police are seen as like goofy or funny. So I think it's definitely has something to say about society for sure.
Mm-hmm. And so, you know, they were trying to figure it out, and then we're down to like at least two ladies. One decides to take off. You know, I thought she was gonna make it.
Yeah.
She's like, right? She's like, man, fuck this. She took off running.
Yeah.
And I was like, she might get it, and then just got picked off. I was like, you just felt like, okay, if the ending of this cannot be good. Like it felt that way. We have her in the truck screaming and hollering. Now she should have left. Why would you? Girl, I laughed. I was like, okay, if all this commotion is going on and he's shooting and he's not getting you, I would have just hauled ass out of there. Why is she trying to be a hero? Like it was just like a real weird turn of events.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you think about that?
It was just really bizarre, because if there's, you know, if you can't do anything about it, I feel like you'd almost just save yourself and get out of there, but kind of like sticking around just to not really help the situation. It was really weird. So I don't know if she just obviously was going insane and was just like, you're not dead. Come on. You're fine. Like, it's okay. Come on. So yeah, it was just really bizarre, like you said.
Yeah. And then she obviously they figured out where the sniper is. And that was weird in itself. And then she hits the tree, he falls out, and he stands up like he's, you know, Jason or Michael Myers.
Yeah.
And it's like full camouflage of plants. Almost looking like Swamp Thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, and then she gets the rifle and just starts shooting. And then I'm like, oh, okay. And then she just, girl, that beat down that she did on his head, it was a pulp. It was just nothing left. And, you know, she was just, man, getting him. And I thought, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
You're done. Leave. Now, and then she's looking at the rifle, all these notches on it, and you can see he's been doing this like forever. And she had to get that last hit in, girl, and blew her throat out.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, that did not just happen. That was insane. Ugh.
The first thing I thought, I was like, damn.
Me too.
That was surprise. I mean, what did you? Oh my God, I don't know what to say, but what did you think?
I just was jaw dropped, because you thought, you know, she got him, it's done. She got rid of him. She's gonna get out of there, and then it just. Like it was just crazy, but at the same time, for some reason, I love it, because I did not expect it at all, and I just feel like there's little things like that in the film that just makes it so memorable, because that just shouldn't have happened, and you didn't think it was going to happen, but it's there, and it's wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really tired of these happy ending horror films.
Yeah.
I want to see some brains fly, and well, I didn't see brains fly. I saw throat fly, but still, I mean, like it was very unexpected. You did not see it coming, but you actually enjoyed that the ending was somewhat satisfying because she still got the killer, but greed of trying to prove a point of her rage consumed her, which caused her caused her own demise. Like, what did you think of overall of the characters?
I really liked their dynamic and their chemistry. I didn't really feel like it was forced, and I really found myself not hating any of them. So I think that was a really good writing on their part, because I kind of did feel for the characters and I didn't want them to die. And I feel like in a lot of genre films nowadays, you don't really care, or you do want to see them die. So it just makes it a little less impactful. But I feel like with the writing and with the choices, the casting choices for the film, they just really made it all jive and work together. So I thought it was pretty good.
It was kind of like it's at random. Anyone was a victim. And I think that's what the purpose of this film was, to really focus that anybody, even the little kid on the side of the road, is just, this guy he's not playing, you know. He may toy with you a little bit, but he was completely crazy. So
really feel like how it just got to the point, and how it was so simplistic yet so effective. And then all of the characters, I feel like, had a purpose, and they spoke really well to that purpose. And it was just so shocking and just so balls to the wall, because you just didn't know it was going to happen. And then the end, and you think it's done, and then they do another. It's like climax, then another climax. I love movies like that.
We didn't need to know a lot. We knew about them along the way. And a lot of films take about 2 hours for you to learn about a couple of characters, and then the story starting. By that time, you're like, I don't care. And then the sniper, you know, we didn't need to know a lot. We knew enough of what his intentions were, which I really do like that. You know, sometimes it's the mystery. We never really saw what he looks like, except for the pulp that she left behind after she beat his head in. We know what his brains look like, but not his face. So this movie is great. Please go check out this film, Downrange. It is currently streaming on Shudder. It is pretty awesome. Make sure you guys like and subscribe into this. But thank you so much, Destinie. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I'm just so glad I got to talk to you. Wow. It's like so awesome.
Yeah, it's just so cool to be able to, like, because you see people like in the community on Instagram, but then when you like talk to them face to face, it's like, oh my God, you exist. You're not just like a page I follow. Right? It's so cool.
Absolutely. So where can people find you? Like
on
where are you at, girl? Where are you at?
On Instagram, living dead girl _97. Facebook, Destinie Orndoff. I'm like 40 away from the friend limit, but you can follow me. I share a lot of pretty much everything from Instagram on my Facebook too. Twitter's horror gal _97, but I don't use it as much, but there's that too. And then if you'd like to follow my projects, we're at Deranged Minds Entertainment on Instagram, and also we have a Facebook page for it too.
So you guys do that, and I will have her handles in the bio layer down below. So, but thank you guys so much. Until next time, enjoy. Wait, let me change that. More Shudderary videos will be on your way. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye.